Pathetic, how fucking bad. You see these people? Like, they deserve to be flamed to the ground. Them being human is a disgrace to humanity. He should not be called a human. Mechanical player. More like mechanical fucking dog. Fucking reject. You serious?
All I say, don't ping me 5'1".
Why do they even play the game? You waste so much time. Do you have nothing better to do in life? If they're not making a career out of it. Look at this. Look at this. Season 4 diamond. Season 5 diamond. Season 6 diamond. But some rejects can't even call human. The truth fucking hurts sometimes. Bark shitters. They have empathy? I can't. They don't deserve any empathy. Their ego getting broken. If you flame them to the ground, maybe their ego breaks.
This is my re-recording of the first section. I'm also going to put something I do in here at the end of it too. It's not scripted.
How can you... Fuck, it was being...
You'll see the thing. There it is. Pings me.
I've countered too.
Starts trying
I've countered
to talk
too.
shit. All I say, don't ping me 5'1", which he is. He is 5'1".
Reject, one trick Draven.
And you know, that's pretty interesting for someone who doesn't really know me. Wait for it.
7 years.
7
years. Hopeless. Hopeless player.
Pretty hopeless for a guy that you obsess over.
7 years. Just
Hasn't looked me up yet, by the way.
How bad.
Hasn't looked me up.
Pathetic, how fucking
He's
bad.
very 5'1".
You see these people? Like, they deserve to be flamed to the ground. Now you see why I flame them? The way they type?
Earns the 5'1" comment.
Everything about them? It's so cringe. Like, them being human is a disgrace to humanity. Literally. He should not be called a human.
This guy, I'm not even kidding, says I'm not human because I play the game for fun, and not because I'm not going for rank 1 like his short little ass. Okay? Like, because I haven't made a career where I get money from this game, that's why he's doing it. He'll say it later. I'm just clarifying right now. The reason why he calls me not human is because I am not making money off of you guys. He would think I am doing great if I were making money like he is off of all of you, the viewer. The only reason why he thinks I'm not human is because I don't make money on the game and I haven't hit rank 1. Forget having fun with the game, the majority of you guys do. The majority of people who watch and play League are having fun. I know you take this as a job, all you'll ever amount to in life, and when I say amount, I mean what you measure up to. Can't really do more when you're 5'1". But
Mechanical player. More like mechanical fucking dog.
there we go. So, what constitutes dwarfism? Dwarfism is a short stature that results from a genetic or medical condition. We will get to the alleged medical condition at the end of the video. But listen, dwarfism is generally defined as an adult height of 4 foot 10 inches. Now, this guy, okay, this 5'1" guy is 3 inches off being a dwarf. Now, that means we cannot call him a dwarf. I have a name for him. DwarfAdjacentPlayer. He is dwarf adjacent. So this is where dwarf is. He's right here. He's very close. He's so close. He's DwarfAdjacentPlayer.
Mechanical player. More like mechanical fucking dog. The name is also pathetic. Like, why are you even called mechanical player?
Okay. About the names, now that we're on names, I think you should rename yourself to TinyBlade, TinyTop, TheFairyBlade, TinyFairyBlade. All of these are good. I think TinyTop is the best though. Because we have TonyTop, who's better than you and deserves to go pro. And then we have you, who's TinyTop, who failed and couldn't measure up to going pro. Couldn't really measure up to it, could you? He would never say, with his tiny cup and his tiny hands and his tiny face and his tiny body, he would never say this to my face. I have to be careful where I step when I'm near people like this. I sometimes step on them. Okay.
Literally, like, hopeless. Why do they even play the game? 7 years, no hope.
Okay.
Shit attitude.
Why would a person log on a video game to play? Maybe to have fun.
Never gonna get into LCS Diamond fucking Peak.
Your goal was to get an LCS and you failed to measure up. But that's not my goal.
I still don't get it. Why do you waste so much time? Do you have nothing better to do in life? If they're not making a career out of it or anything,
See,
and they're just...
there it is. If you're not making money like me, it's not good. I get it. Listen, maybe I was wrong to call you a dwarf. There is another creature that is small. That's perfect. There's another creature that's small that loves money. I'm not going to say this is what you are. He might be a goblin. He's a couple inches off a dwarf. This is the guy who's not even here. At the edge of the bell curve. He's not even at the edge of the bell curve. He's so small. Now listen, just so everyone knows. Tyler 1 is not 5'6". I don't know why people keep telling me he's 5'6". He is 6'5", and if he's not, he certainly acts like he deserves to be 6'5". He's very funny. Let's fucking open it up. Tyler's all the way over here. Tyler's like fucking deep. He is deep in the height. Tyler's crushing it in the US male category. He's like right fucking here. But if he were 5'6", Tyler would still at least be on the curve of the bell curve. You're where it goes flat because they don't see people shorter than that. And if there's one thing that is accomplished with my ranting about you, it's that you're fucking short. You're really fucking short. All you have to claim for your achievements is being able to play a video game in the top lane, TinyTop. That's all you have going for you. It's hilarious to me, though, that these small little gremlins, whether a dwarf, a goblin, that's all that matters in his mind. It's like, as you can only justify having fun if you're making money. And that's why he's so scared of anyone finding out. He's so scared of anyone finding out. Imagine, oh my God, imagine this dweeb came up to me in real life. He would literally be like looking up like this. He wouldn't have a shot in hell to even get the, he'd be like, he couldn't do it because their natural short guy instincts don't let them talk shit to tall people in real life. He hides behind his monitor. I will meet him anywhere he wants, okay? Anywhere he wants. I will do a stand-by-stand photo op as long as the little gremlin's not trying to kill me, because he's going to be very upset that I'm bursting his career on this, that everyone's going to know how tiny TinyTop is. He's not the first blade. He's the tiniest blade. He is literally the shortest guy to ever play in high elo. If there were like a record system of showing all of our stats, I'd probably be one of the tallest, if not the tallest. This guy gets the record for shortest high elo player. This guy is tiny. He has a very hot temper. Frankly, he seems disgusting and kind of slow. I'd never want to hang out with him in real life. He seems like a horrible person to hang out with. He obviously misses social cues. I'm not calling him autistic, but it's close. Got a lot of issues, but I'm gonna hammer him when he brings me, okay? Watch.
Shorts like Perma. This in plat.
He brings me publicly on his stream and talks shit. Now we're gonna get into the part about him just lying. So let's go to MechanicalPlayer. So we have this guy, MechanicalPlayer. We pull him up. Let's look. Season 7, Challenger. Okay, let's do a side-by-side because he's such a dirty fucking liar. So he's claiming, which by the way, he has faced me in Challenger over 50 times. Nah, probably 100 in our lifetime. He knows he's lying. He knows he's a dirty liar.
Oh my God, Season 9 Master. Holy shit, how bad.
Challenger almost every fucking season. And it doesn't go back. Season 6, Challenger. Season 5, Challenger. I obviously let my accounts decay. And if I don't, I play from decay at the end of the season. There is no way to get Challenger if you're playing in the last week. If you notice the schedule in November, there's for people that go to college and for people that have a degree, okay, they have this thing called finals right around the time ranked season ends. So why would I, who doesn't just play video games all day and parasitically sucks from his community, why would I destroy my finals, destroy my grades to play a fucking video game in November? Do you actually think a player can get Platinum 1 that is in Challenger? Who's literally, I've literally showed the way for Draven mains of multiple builds. Anyone who remembers Bork Draven, that was me. Anyone who remembers Gwynso-Blade Draven, that was me. This guy is just bad faith lying to badmouth the player because he feels big and tough when he usually feels small with everyone looking down. He feels big and tough because of that audience. And he's going to shit talk someone he would never say a word to in real life.
How? What are you fucking getting a leaderboard of diamond?
He knows he's lying. Keep going.
Like, But some rejects, like this fucking can't even call human.
See? The human thing. He's got an issue. Listen, when you're that short, you want to have an excuse to call other people not human because other people are constantly looking down at you. I get it. You have short man temper. You're very upset. And I know you can't keep your cool. Keep going.
Like, it's your attitude. It's the fact that you dog shit and you have a shit attitude.
Just to refer, all I said in the game was stop crying, winnable. And then when he started spam pinging and shit talking me, I then called him 5'1". Don't ping me. This guy abuses his platform. He's a fucking reject and he's way too short. He will never have a woman that actually respects him. All you do is play Jax, Aurelia, and Akali.
Tyler can be like toxic, but he
let me make something clear. Oh, by the way, Tyler1 has on multiple occasions, post-game scream, asked me how I play Draven so well. Has literally asked me, hey, MechanicalPlayer, how the fuck are you playing Draven so well right now? Granted, it was a long time ago. I don't really play that much anymore. The guy you're referencing who's so quote-unquote good, which by the way, Tyler is a solo queue genius. He's actually very smart at the game. He's learned to play multiple champions at extremely high level very quickly, and he understands the most complicated champions in like weird play styles. Draven's the most complicated AD carry, next to like a Phelios. Ivern is very complicated in terms of understanding every jungle's interaction with you of pathing. There's a lot of compliments you can give to someone who is a solo queue genius. Now, even still, even with all of his accomplishments, he asked me, how the fuck are you playing Draven so well? It was like in the summer, I was like Challenger or something. He's like, how the fuck are you, MechanicalPlayer, playing Draven so well in this dog shit climate for Draven? And we talked for like 2 hours post-game lobby. Regardless, you're almost a dwarf. If we just shaved a couple inches off you, which I don't know if you have that to spare, frankly, you're literally a mid. But regardless, I think it's hilarious that you make it public, because now I have to be public. And because I'm public now, I've got to make fun of all your issues. That's a fucking issue. Ugh. Oh my god. But regardless, he lied. He knew he was lying. He publicly shamed someone that he knows he's lying about. I'm calling it out. The TinyTop, the TinyBlade, this is my fucking response to you. The only move now is either apologize or double down. If you apologize, I will not even call you 5'1" anymore. But I want you to admit that I didn't lie during this video. You say, hey, shouldn't have attacked someone publicly. Made him public. It was wrong of me. I overreacted. You say that, but you never say anything I said was a lie. You assent to what I'm saying. That we both know that you are a tiny top. You are a tiny top laner. You are the tiniest little top laner, even though he is disgustingly short. Moving on. This is what fetal alcohol syndrome is. Now, I am not going to make a claim that his mother drank during pregnancy, which led to TF-Blade, the TinyBlade, TinyTop, DwarfAdjacentPlayer, having fetal alcohol syndrome. Now, there's also another thing called fetal alcohol effect, which is a subdued version. Perfect. Okay, we'll get to it. But let's start here. He has a small head. His eye opening, right here, and here, it's about the edges of the eye. We can't really tell how low the nasal bridge is here because he covers it with his big glasses, but I would argue it's a low nasal bridge. What we do know is that he has a compromised mid-face, right where you're supposed to have the normal lips that actually make big bumps and go up the ridges between your nose and your lip. The TinyBlade, DwarfAdjacentPlayer, does not have that. He has a very compromised version of that. Now that would indicate fetal alcohol effect. I'm not claiming it. I'm not claiming his mother drank like a fish when he was pregnant, okay? No one here is making a legal claim that TF-Blade, the DwarfAdjacentPlayer's mother, drank like a fish and could not control herself during his pregnancy. We also have the underlip that's also a little bit, it doesn't say in this picture, but the underlip's a little bit small. And then we also have a very weak jaw. Now, if we weren't sure of it, and I'm not, listen, I'd never make a legal claim against someone who's a public figure that they have a medical condition. But I am going to point out as well, this is just more evidence, but I'm not going to claim he has it. Here are some other symptoms of fetal alcohol syndrome. Abnormal facial features. I'm not going to say he has abnormal facial features, but one could say that. I'm not going to make fun of how ugly he is, but one could say it. Low body weight. Anyone 5'1" is a low body weight. Short height. You're a fucking DwarfAdjacentPlayer. Sleep and sucking difficulties. I wasn't there for that. I'm sure there was issues. Small head size. Now, I know the camera makes him look like, compared to his body, he looks like he actually has an average sized head. But you have to remember, his body is a 5'1" body. He has a very tiny body. He's one of those bodies that like you see like your 10-year-old kid have, your 10 to 12-year-old kid. That head is actually very small objectively. Now, vision and or hearing problems, I would argue he has both. There's a lot of things that he has here. Okay, but let's keep going. I think he's retained all of these. And now one may say, oh, you said infants, how dare you? Listen, look, when you're 5'1", are you not always an infant player? Let's move on. Early childhood and beyond. Delayed speech and language development. Listen, I am not saying that he sounds autistic when he talks, okay? I'm not saying he sounds autistic when he talks. But I would argue, and I think everyone else would, is that when you hear this guy talk, it is not someone who has normal language development. We'll call it divergent. Difficulty concentrating, short attention span. That's probably why he's addicted to video games. Difficult telling the difference between reality and fantasy. Again, this kind of plays into his projections on me. This guy thinks when he is 5'1" that he can shit talk behind his monitor to a literal giant. Hyperactivity, he can't stop playing League. Learning disabilities, I'm sure he was terrible in school. Not going to claim it though. Low IQ, here's where it's interesting. I actually think his subconscious IQ, like the thing underneath, like the cogs behind the scenes, I think it's actually pretty good. For his prefrontal cortex IQ, what he consciously thinks, it's probably low IQ. Poor coordination, I could never see this guy playing a sport, regardless of his height. You could even give him 5 inches. This guy's never played a sport in his life without being jammed in a locker. Poor reasoning and judgment skills. Outside of League, absolutely. Like, I've heard stories of this guy in high school where he would go up to people he knew played League because he had no friends. Okay? He would go up to people he knew played League. Okay? And he'd be like, I'm TF-Blade. I'm Challenger. That'd be his first line. Imagine you're just chilling out with your friends. You're having, I don't know, a fucking sandwich, a Coke, I don't care. And some little kid comes up to you, and he's like, my name's TF-Blade. Look me up. I'm Challenger. He doesn't have the social cues. I'm not going to call him autistic. I'm just saying the reality. Poor school performance, poor short-term memory. I don't have the evidence for this. We'll leave it to go. He has abnormal facial features. I will claim that. Like, he does. He looks weird. Very weird. A woman, like, regardless of a woman knowing his height, which, again, they run when they know his height. No one's gonna go for that. I don't care how many ranks you get, buddy. I don't care if you have 10 rank 1 accounts. Side by side. Like, Riot lets you have all of them say rank 1, all 10 of them, because they're all your accounts. Dude, women aren't touching that. Small size at birth and throughout childhood. I would argue also through adulthood, but yes, he obviously had that. Now, this is my favorite. Emotional and behavioral issues, like difficulty paying attention, hyperactivity, and poor judgment. DwarfAdjacentPlayer has shown all of these throughout his stream. I don't watch his stream, but I know... Oh! Wait, no way! Okay, again, listen, like, I had some of these tabs pulled up. I'll be honest with you, I didn't scroll through them. He has all of these. Allegedly. Okay, so he has poor social cues. That would go into the ASD. ADHD. People who have ADHD focus on one thing for like 8 hours at a time. That would make sense for why he's able to keep, even though it shows like hyperactivity, where is it? Hyperactivity and all that crap, difficulty concentrating. If you have ADHD on top of it, okay? If you have ADHD on top of it, you could just focus on a game like this for literally 15 hours a day. This makes so much sense. And obviously ADHD comes along with addictive issues, so does ASD, but we're not going to get into that. I'm not diagnosing him. I am not a doctor. Now, I'm going to put a medical disclaimer before you see any of this. I am not a doctor. I am not diagnosing anyone. His behavior speaks for itself. I wonder what meds he's on. I won't claim that, though. And there's no cure. He's stuck with this for his whole life. It's very unlikely. There is prevention. I don't even have to read this. It's your mother doesn't drink when she's pregnant with you. Okay? That's the cure. But as you can see, this boy, if you put both of these faces side by side and you did the diagram like ding ding, ding ding, I would not be able to tell the difference between you two. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Like, very similar. I'm not going to claim you have fetal alcohol effect. I wouldn't say syndrome, by the way. I would say effect if I were making a claim, but I'm not. But yeah, this is very, like, it'd be very hard to tell the difference between you two. That's all I'm saying. You put these people in the lineup, you duplicate them a couple times, guarantee you, I can't find a difference. Where else do we have? Okay, we had this woman here, this poor child. If I can't, listen, his glasses are really good at hiding some of this stuff, okay? But he certainly has a compromised philtrum, okay? And his jaw, okay, is certainly underdeveloped. It's blatant. But that's really what I wanted to point out. That's really the big things. And if there's anything you guys take from this video, is this TinyTop DwarfAdjacentPlayer is 5'1", okay? Now, because of this, and I want to keep this fire stoked, I'm going to start streaming. Now I'll be having a for fun montage. We'll be doing jungle. We'll be doing AD carry. I'll do some Draven tips. If there's enough requests, because I am one of the best Dravens to ever touch the fucking champion, I will make videos showing secrets of Draven no other player has ever talked about. Every stream will include his height. I want everyone to know it. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad. This guy is the shortest player to ever play in high elo. And everyone should know that when he tries looking down at you, remember, he physically can't do it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all you guys. Spread the word. This guy's tiny, teeny tiny top. I appreciate you all. TheMechanicalPlayer, twitch.tv. TheMechanicalPlayer. I will be streaming. I'm going to be changing a bunch of stuff on it, making it look good. Because when someone talks shit like this, especially when they're so short and they have such a shitty attitude, gotta let them know.